So first off, let's kind of break things down big picture. So on one side of the fence, we're taking glucose, we're breaking it down. Lysis means to break or to cut, right? Anytime you see lysis, that's to break. So you're breaking down glucose, you generate ATP with that, 2 ATP on the glycolysis side. You also have, and then in the mitochondria, each time it goes around twice, you're generating 2 ATP. And then you collect a whole bunch of hydrogens here on the Krebs cycle side, and that gets funneled down into the electron transport chain. And this is where the lion's share, 34 ATP, actually happened there. Just an FYI, just so you guys can kind of visualize that and see what's happening on that perspective. Now, big picture though, if you look over here, you only see glucose coming down and generating ATP, but we're actually extracting energy from protein. Amino acids also enter the Krebs cycle via acetyl-CoA. Fats as well, they get converted to fatty acids, and that goes into the Krebs cycle via acetyl-CoA. And then carbs. So we have protein, fat, and carbs all funneling in and going down into the citric acid cycle. Now, really important here, just so you guys can see, we have our carbs, we have our proteins, we have our fats that funnels into acetyl-CoA. Now, a couple things here. Beta oxidation also happens. That's where we take fatty acids, we can convert them to acetyl-CoA. But before we even go into the Krebs cycle, right? Krebs cycle and citric acid cycle are the same thing, just so you know. We can skip that and we can actually generate ketones, right? Ketogenesis, right? Genesis is to form, lysis is to break, called beta-hydroxybutyrate. So you can actually skip this whole process of energy by just keeping your carbs in check and generating ketones. Ketones are an alternative fuel source. When people's brains start to become insulin resistant and they can't generate or they can't burn glucose for fuel because they're having Alzheimer's/dementia, there's studies that getting ketones up is an alternative fuel source and can turn the brain back on. So ketogenesis and ketones is another fuel source that you can sidestep the whole entire mitochondrial cascade as well. So we have carbs, proteins, and fats. Acetyl-CoA funnels down into the Krebs cycle, and you can see all the nutrients that are needed. So you need, for instance, glutathione, you need iron, really important. You need magnesium, you need manganese, you need B1, B2, B3, CoQ10, and of course, like things like fluoride and mercury and aluminum all impact it. That's why we want to be eating organic and be eating clean, because a lot of these compounds, these toxins can really stress it out. It's very important.